G'day everybody, welcome back to Dune Awakening. Hope you guys are doing well. As you can see, the CHOAM salvage rights event is still going on, so all of the cannons in the background are still firing away at various ships trying to get away. Still don't really understand the lore and story behind it, but, I know the Kurab faction generally is trying to, destroy, these CHOAM ships to get at some of the valuables inside. Speaking of valuables, I do have about 31 of these cargo containers now, so we could go back and see if we can grab some rewards, but I think at the very beginning of this episode we're going to focus a little bit more effort on building out the base, since we now have access, or are very close to having access to a assault ornithopter, and we need to accommodate this ornithopter by building maybe some kind of a landing pad that's going to be enclosed somewhat. So I'm not sure how we're going to achieve everything just yet, but I definitely would say that we need a little bit of extra space here. So that's what we're going to do first. So I'll speed things up so it's not going to take too long. Righto guys, welcome back. I hope you guys enjoyed all of that building. I think this episode is going to be pretty much the majority of it, building stuff. So hopefully you guys don't mind. I haven't exactly completed absolutely everything, but I did actually fetch some cobalt paste just offline, and I didn't show you guys that, but I will actually use that to finish up the upper entranceway. But yeah, I thought I'd also just fix up this little section here, because we are going to need to be able to come through here, aren't we? So I don't know how I feel about that just yet, but we'll leave it for the time being. And yeah, so I do need to be able to make an opening. So let me just figure out how to get the shield opening here, the pentashield opening rather. So I think my plan is to do something like that, and then we do an opening above. Yeah, so that looks good, but then I'll need to be able to continue. I wonder why this isn't exactly stable. Actually, that's not what I want. I've got to be careful because cobalt can be a bit more difficult to try and make, obviously. I'd need to try and get some more earthright, but let's try to do one more plan here. Yeah, it doesn't seem to be attaching for whatever reason, so perhaps maybe there's something wrong with that, and perhaps that. I'm gonna see if we can maybe switch that to a floor instead, because we are using roof pieces there. Yeah, okay, maybe I'm not getting things right on this side. Let me get rid of these, and we'll try that again. So yeah, somehow there seems to be a bit of an issue trying to snap certain things, especially when you're dealing with diagonal structures. Okay, that looks potentially viable, but we're gonna have to see if it actually is. Utilities. Let's try doing the pentashield for this side. Okay, good, and then let's try the top. Okay, this is a lot more challenging than I initially thought. Huh. Says all corners must be connected to a structure. I wonder if maybe these pentashields are causing a bit of an issue for us. Yeah, okay, that is definitely problematic. I wonder if we could trick it into building in the right spot. So let me just try something here, guys. Yeah, it's a bit difficult to actually get the structure to start where you want it to start. That maybe could be the reason why we're having trouble getting it in. Okay. Okay. If that's going to be an issue, then I think what we'll do is I think we might do something along these lines instead. Then we sort of do the same thing on this side. Yeah, we need maybe some kind of a wall over here. Okay, so definitely a little bit of refinement is probably in order in various spots of this build. Oh, and there, I can see a bit of a gap going on there. That is, yeah, that's not great. Why is that gap there? Okay. No gap anymore. Yeah, as I said, there's some strange stuff going on when you're dealing with angled structures. Great. Okay, so let's try getting our pentashield in. All corners must be connected to a structure. Yep, I get it. So... wow. Alright. This is a lot harder than I thought it would be. We most certainly have all of the materials for it, right? So that's not the issue. So I'm not 100% sure why I'm having a lot of trouble trying to get this in, unless, once again, yeah, maybe things are not flush. Okay, yeah, I think this side is probably not flush. That could be the reason why. Yeah, there's a bit of a gap there. Yeah, a lot harder than it seems, building. Let's try that again. There we go. There. All right. There we go. Alright, so I hope this will do the trick. But if not, then I think it's time for us to move on and do other stuff. Otherwise, this entire episode's going to be just dedicated to building stuff. Ah. Finally. Okay, there we go. That's our base opening for, well, our ornithopter, but also our scout ornithopter when we eventually get one. And, well, there is another vehicle that's quite large, which I believe is some kind of a transport vehicle, which is supposed to carry the harvester, if I'm not mistaken. So, but anyway, we should be able to get in and out of the base from here. That's the idea anyway. I know the inside of the base is a little bit tight though, so I'm a little bit concerned about that. I'm not 100% sure if we will be able to get an assault ornithopter in here, but I assume it's going to be okay. And yeah, as I said guys, there's plenty of refinement for us to think about. Second tier over here is going to be our living quarters, and then the lower tier down here is going to be where all of our production and machinery is kept. And that's essentially the idea. It's definitely a lot grander. I've got, you know, like 2 floors worth of space for every single tier. So it could be a bit wasteful, but I think it looks a lot cooler. And sometimes it helps having a little bit of that breathing space to make a place look even grander, right? So anyway, not looking too bad from the outside. The first thing that I want to do, just to, I guess, kick off a little bit of adventuring, is to go back to Pinnacle Station, and I do want to see one of the CHOAM representatives about turning in some of these CHOAM crates. We did spy a sword, potentially, that we might be able to get. So I'm kind of keen on checking that out. I don't know if it's just a skin or if it has certain stats. I'm hoping that it'll be a little bit better than what we currently have. If not, then, you know, we don't have to use it, obviously. But yeah, I'm not 100% sure what to expect. Hello, CHOAM man.
I see you've returned.
Alright, so I do have a few. I can't buy the turret statue just yet. I'll work on that if I get the ability to do that. So we've got the tech rifle, tech sword. I think I'll go with the sword, as I said. So let's buy that. And let's take a look. So does that just give us the ability to make the tech sword? Maybe. I'd probably have to go back and check on our weapon fabricator before, you know, we sort of are able to make the sword. But anyway, and the next thing that I want to do is actually to speak to Thufir Hawat about, well, the next things that we need to do for House Atreides, right? So I think the best thing for us to do in this case is to just go to the overworld map and to make our way to Arrakeen that way. Okay, let's report in.
I expected you. Sorry. Occupational hazard.
Andrea sent me to poison Ambrose Lucifera. I carried out her orders.
Yes. I didn't initially expect her to move so fast, but I've taken action. What do you have to say for your part in all of this?
I was merely following Andrea's orders.
Yes. You chose to follow Andrea's orders while explicitly ignoring mine. A rather creative interpretation of chain of command, don't you think? People nearly died in the fallout of this stunt. A useful contact in several blameless bystanders. They survived by only the narrowest of margins.
Okay, so a lot of the other people that drank the wine as well survived, I suppose. But Ambrosia maybe didn't die in that case? Maybe they saved him after all? So what happens now?
Andrea turned herself in, claimed complete responsibility for everything. Loyalty still means something to her, and a willingness to face consequences. Her actions took me aback. Ambrose, you see, was my double agent, feeding misinformation to the Harkonnen.
That's why. What will happen to Andrea?
There will be a disciplinary action. Then I will place her on other cases far from Skorda. She faced her misconduct with honor. Our work isn't done.
What happens to me now?
Now you work for me directly. You have Andrea to thank for that. She made the case to keep you on. She made it very well. A process cannot be understood by stopping it. Understanding must move with the flow of the process, must join it and flow with it. I can only teach you what comes next by throwing you into the flow directly. Perhaps, in the process, we can save my Duke and his house.
What's our next step in investigating this tainted spice?
Understanding the origin of the tainted spice is vital. Taking in all of the data, I detect Imperial influence, though I do not know from whom. We must trace the links in the chain back to Skorda. It is from him we will get clearer answers. The man recently appeared in Erekine.
How do we track down Skorda?
I've calculated his most likely contact, a naive Atreides trooper named Rafe Oslau. He's stationed in Erekine. Find him. Find out what he knows.
Okay, this Rafe Oslo. I'll find him.
We know he's had past dealings with Skorda. Further details are in the contract.
Okay. So, Rafe Oslo, apparently this guy is in Erekine, so we may as well deal with him immediately before we go. Apparently I've got a couple of things going on here. On the trail, the missing Pion. I can't remember which quest this is, but we may as well try to do both of them. So the missing Pion questline is close by. We go for that first. I don't know if this will take us there. Possibly. Oh, look at this place. Oh, actually no, this is just joining back to the main hallway. I thought it was a completely new space. Alright. So let's take a look at the missing Pion. It's a bit difficult to find the correct quest sometimes. That's alright. I'll circle back to it. But now, we just need to find this Rafe Oslo in the bar. There he is.
Hi. Is there something you need?
You're Rafe Oslo. I'm looking for Skorda.
You are you? Well, who's asking?
Part of his crew. I need to see him. There's been some trouble.
Yeah, I heard he got jumped by mercenaries when he tried to go off-world.
Can you help me?
Happy to help. Skorda's a hero of mine. I owe everything I am today to him.
Go on.
I was just a street dog on Caladan. I messed up. I was on my way to a prison planet. But Skorda, see, he was in the constabulary. He saw something in me. Skorda covered it up for me. Got me set up as a recruit in the Atreides House forces. And here I am now. Right. Last I saw, Skorda was talking to one of them weirdo cult recruiters in town. I could see one of them.
Cult recruiters. Okay. Is there even a cult here? I don't even remember seeing any cult-like people. Oh, the missing pion. Apparently, there is another place that we can investigate. Or we can report back to Thufir. Let me go back to this spot. I thought this looks like the same spot that we were in before, though. Let's just take another peek. So why are we being... Oh, here. I completely missed that. The Masquerade. Learn the truth. Alright. Anything else in this area? Oh, hang on. We are being led to this area here, which I remember visiting before, and it just said that we had to, you know, proceed with the storyline. Investigate the Masquerade's presence in Arakeen. See the Gardens of Arrakis. Okay. I think that just about clears everything. About the missing pion, that is. But let's have another chat with Thufir. I'm hoping he'll give us something to do. I'm sort of hoping that he'll give us something to do in the shoal area, because that's where we need a lot of our materials. And I believe some of those components that we need for making an assault ornithopter is something that we'll find within the shoal area.
I expected you. Sorry. Occupational hazard.
Rafe squealed. He saw Skorda talking with a cult. Here's my report.
Well done. The cult in question is the Masquerade. Strange cult. Even stranger rituals. But why would Skorda be talking to them?
What's our next course of action?
Speak with one of their cult recruiters. See how far you can get by playing an eager new recruit.
I'll do my best.
Their practices may seem strange and even nonsensical, but don't fall into the trap of underestimating them. It's a bad habit.
Alright. Well, we're gonna pretend to be occultists then. I'm just wondering whether or not I have the ability to buy anything interesting.
Always
Let me
good
just
to see a
swing
familiar
by.
face. What can I do for you today?
Atreides still suit swatch. I'll buy that because we're wearing a still suit. And I'm keen on sort of using some of the unique skins. Kirab heavy armor set variants. Light armor swatch. Let's buy that. Melee weapon swatch. And do we not have an ornithopter swatch? Yeah, here. Flying vehicle swatch. Okay. Yeah, I did end up buying quite a bit. Bedroom furniture set. Yes. Why not? Why not? Because we are going to need to decorate very soon, and I would say, guys, that we're almost to the point where our home is ready for a complete relocation. So I could be very busy between episodes just moving house, you know, grabbing the buggy and the sand bike and all sorts of things and just simply moving. But, you know, that'll be a very big job and a very big and boring job. So I'll probably do it between episodes. New cultist. Yeah, okay. We might have to speak to that very shady looking person. So I think we've spoken to them before. There is another Chome person over there to speak to, but I don't think they have different rewards. I think their rewards might actually just be the same.
Shai-Hulud blesses me with your presence again.
I'm looking for the Masquerade.
And the coils of providence bring you to us. I am a Naib of the Masquerade. I am a teacher. I am a recruiter. We follow the holy tremis of Shai-Hulud as interpreted by our Sayadina Nala. We honor the tyrant worm by spilling our water.
I'm sorry, but wouldn't the Fremen see spilling water as blasphemous?
I understand your confusion. To the blind, sight must seem like insanity. But this is blindness that can be cured. In the meantime, can I be of help?
I'm looking for my friend, Tig Skorda.
Oh yes, a promising convert. Come to our learning center in the Udum. You will find your friend, and perhaps enlightenment.
Ominous. The Udum. Well, we've been there a few times now, so that's not going to be too difficult to get to. Well, especially now that we've got an Ornithopter, so... Howat?
I expected you.
The ruse worked. I'm invited to the Masquerade Learning Center.
An impressive performance and a tidy report. I appreciate that. So many field agents are sloppy with their documentation.
Shall I take this undercover assignment further?
I'm afraid there is no time to build a proper cover. Besides, I already have a hidden agent among the Masquerade.
What should I do?
You'll do what you do best. Attack swiftly and directly, and obtain what information you can. It seems we're not the only ones after Skorda.
Oh?
I received word that he tried to get off-world before talking to Oslo, but was attacked by 2 mercenaries. He made a daring escape.
Who were the mercenaries?
Perhaps Harkonnen, perhaps someone else. Skorda may have joined the cult for strange purposes, but I wager he wanted protection from his attackers.
What should I do?
Go to the learning center. Find Skorda or information leading to him.
I'm on it.
Take all due precaution. These are fanatics.
Cool. I wonder if that's just simply taking us to the electric worm. Potentially, it might. Search the Center of Learning for Skorda. Investigate the Udam. Alright. Well, I'll see you guys when we get back to the Haga Basin in that case. Right, folks, we are back at the Udam. And we should be getting very, very close to where we need to be. Apparently just down here somewhere. I do see a set of steps and stuff over there. Perhaps maybe we should just simply get down here and go by foot. Let's tuck that away. Now I am slightly worried, guys, because apparently my Liturgon is about to break. So I will need to head home and do a bit of a repair on the Liturgon sometime soon. But yeah, I guess this is the spot. Very interesting place indeed. Alright, I'm not entirely sure we are in the right spot actually. It says that we do need to go about 100 meters in another direction, but... Okay, that's good. Let's see if we can lure this guy in. Good stuff. I don't know if these guys have anything that we want. Perhaps maybe the still suit tubing. I don't know about, like, bits of armor and stuff. And I might play around with the drill shot. I do need to look for heavy darts though, so wherever we find those. There's a scroll there. I feel like that could be interactable. Yeah, okay. This might still be the place. Alright, are we headed in the right direction roughly? I think we might be. Perhaps maybe just through this door. So I'll need to find the key. Okay, where would they be hiding this key? Maybe back this way? I think there's the key there. Thank you very much. Yeah, a lot of scrolls everywhere. Perhaps maybe they won't all be interactable. What's going on up this way, I wonder? Not too much, it seems. Alright. Let's head back to that door. Whoa, that was very, very close. A little bit more healing here. Let's go into prescience mode. There we go. Alright. We don't need anything there. Heavy darts, thank you very much. Perfect. Let's grab that.
This latest group of pilgrims includes many promising initiates. Truly many see the hand of God in the green growing things that flourish in the Udam. Those who show less zeal have regrettably been turned over to the adepts for more rigorous instruction. In particular, one recently recruited brother professed appropriate devotion and revealed to us his past as a house trooper. When tested, he demonstrated superior fighting skills and indicated that he could be of use training our militant adepts. I'm certain Shai Halud has led this righteous warrior to us for the good of the faith. I sent him on to the testing station to report to Naib Jorba.
Oh, okay, this loops around. I didn't even see that. Alright, apparently we just need to contact Thufir. So let's go ahead and do that. So Skorda did indeed join the Masquerade. That certainly explains the measurable uptick in their fighting ability. Said uptick is a very recent development, which means we are getting close to Skorda. Keep moving. Alright. The hunt for Skorda. Search the testing station for a clue. Alright, so there must be a testing station nearby. Testing station. Here. Yes, it's very, very close by. Okay. I mean, considering where we are with the episode, though, I reckon we will wrap up here. I might just quickly jump off from here. Save us a little bit of time. And, when we come back, I reckon the first thing we'll do is check in on that testing station. Meanwhile, I think I'm gonna spend quite a bit of time between episodes moving all of my stuff from the previous base to the new one, because I think we're ready for a bit of a shake-up, and we probably don't need the old house anymore. So I'm keen on saving a little bit of tax money by not having to continually pay for the old house. So that's the plan anyway, look, there's probably a lot of refinement to be done at the house that we are going to reside in. I think that's going to be our permanent house, to be honest. So I reckon we'll do that in the next episode as well, given there's actually quite a bit of it to do. Something weird's happening with our cape there. Can I fix that? Yeah, let's put that back on. Look a little bit more respectable. There we go. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this one. As usual, drop me a like if you did. Stay true. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.